Massive corporate empires usually fall to bad balance sheets or broken supply chains, but some of the world's most aggressive business rivalries began with a single fateful instance of personal humiliation. In 1948, northern Italy was struggling to rebuild from the wreckage of World War II. Ferruccio Lamborghini, a 32-year-old former military mechanic, saw a way to turn devastation into a business. He began scavenging discarded military engines, differentials, and steel chassis to build cheap, rugged tractors for local farmers. Under his company, Lamborghini Trattori, the business grew into a massive industrial empire. Within a decade, Ferruccio was one of the wealthiest men in Italy. He was a practical, blue-collar steelworker, but his success allowed him to buy the most expensive, elite sports cars in the world. His collection included several Ferraris, specifically the 250 GT. It was a high-performance machine, but Ferruccio soon found a frustrating recurring flaw. Every single time he pushed the car to its limit, the clutch would overheat and fail, requiring constant, expensive trips back to the factory. Eventually, Ferruccio had his own tractor mechanics take the car apart. They discovered that the clutch Ferrari was charging a fortune for was the exact same commercial-grade part used in Lamborghini's low-cost tractors. Ferruccio drove to Maranello to personally suggest a mechanical fix to Enzo Ferrari. But Enzo was a national icon who famously refused to listen to his customers. He told the tractor builder, "The car is perfect. You are a tractor driver. Let me make cars. You stick to making tractors." Enzo believed he was simply putting a customer in his place. He didn't realize he had just insulted an engineering genius who had enough liquid capital to fund a rival empire. Ferruccio returned home with a plan for retaliation. He used his tractor fortune to build a modern sports car factory in Sant'Agata Bolognese, placing it exactly 17 miles away from Ferrari's headquarters. He timed his entry perfectly. Enzo Ferrari was currently facing the Great Palace Revolt, a crisis where his top engineering and management staff walked out to protest his tyrannical leadership style. Ferruccio moved in and hired the exiled talent, including Giotto Bizzarini. Bizzarini was the engineer responsible for Ferrari's most successful racing engines. Ferruccio gave Bizzarini a blank check and a clear goal: build a V12 engine that outperformed Ferrari's road cars in every category. By hiring the very people Enzo had discarded, Ferruccio wasn't just building a car company, he was turning Ferrari's internal chaos into his own greatest asset. To beat Ferrari, Lamborghini's engineering team decided they couldn't just build a better front-engine car. They had to move away from traditional design entirely to create something Ferrari couldn't easily copy. They conceptualized a transverse mid-engine chassis. Instead of sitting over the front wheels, the engine was mounted sideways, directly behind the driver. This put the heaviest part in the center, a layout reserved for racing prototypes, giving the vehicle unprecedented balance and handling. Because the engine no longer sat in the front, designers were able to lower the hood and create a low, aggressive profile. It was a shape that front-engine Ferraris were physically incapable of matching. This shift took Lamborghini from a personal project to a technological leader. They had created a car that made the rest of the industry look outdated. By the 1966 Geneva Motor Show, the entire automotive world was waiting to see what the tractor manufacturer had been working on in secret. They revealed the Lamborghini Miura. With its radical bodywork and the roar of Bizzarini's mid-mounted V12, the car was an instant sensation. Wealthy customers, celebrities, and rock stars immediately placed orders. For the first time, Enzo Ferrari had a direct competitor for the world's most exclusive clientele. The Miura was so different from anything that came before it that a new term had to be coined to describe its power and design: the supercar. Enzo Ferrari's unchallenged dominance in the high-performance market was over. All of it traced back to a single, easily avoidable conversation in his office. Today, both companies are worth billions, but Lamborghini only exists because Enzo Ferrari underestimated a tractor builder, proving that the most dangerous competitor you'll ever face is the one you create yourself.